Okay, in today's podcast, I'm joined by my son. We're gonna have a conversation about our relationship. From time to time, that I like to touch base, and even if the conversations don't look nice, and it's good to, well, I feel on my side to have these types of awkward conversations, difficult conversations with my son. We're not always gonna agree on things. We could get into arguments, but the fact that they can turn to me because I'm keen to know what you feel about me, Jibs.
Generally, I feel that you care for me, you love me, and our relationship is good, but it needs improvement. It needs to be worked on.
Okay, tell me about the areas you feel that it needs to be worked upon.
In general, I feel safe opening up to you, having a conversation with you, speaking to you about X, Y, Z. But I don't like to speak to you about everything because sometimes you're not the right person for me to open up to.
That's fine. And okay, so do you feel safe with me?
I do feel safe with you, but at the same time, I feel a bit uncertain with you. I feel a bit not reassured.
Okay, let's go deep. All right, so
When it comes down to making family decisions, when it comes down to taking risks or you fixing your ways or being stubborn or fixing your mentality, doing things your way, because you're like that and because you are fixed that way, that's your default. That makes me a bit awkward to turn to you to build with you and to communicate with you.
okay, so let me get this right. So my stubbornness can stop me from understanding you. But check this. Okay, so say for example that I were to understand you, it's not the same as me making it feel safe for you. So out of the two, which one do you want? Do you want me to understand you, or do you want me to make you feel safe? Because I can understand you, I can understand where you're coming from, but what does safety look like to you, Jibs?
The thing is, Dad, I know you understand me very well, but sometimes I think you don't understand me when you don't implement what I tell you, because I don't come from a place of control or hatred. It's just I might see things that you can't see in your behavior, in your characteristic traits or attitude that may come across to me in a bad way that you don't even realize, because sometimes you don't realize how you come across towards me. And I feel sometimes when I bring it to your attention, you sort of just shut me down.
Give me an example of what I do to shut you down.
Sometimes we've had previous conversations and you've told me, Jabril, you're young, what do you know? Or your experience is limited. Or you said to me, you've came out the cot, you're young, you're small, you can't relate to me, Jabril, because I'm much more older than you. So I'll hear you, I'll understand you, but I won't take action upon what you're saying.
You know, when I say those things to you, what do you understand from it?
I know that you understand me very well, but because your response to me was the same for a long time, I start to build up unease with you. I start wanting to feel distant from you, not wanting to communicate with you as much, just living my life separately and away from you.
That's what quite interesting. Okay, so when you don't, is it that you? So for you to feel understood, does it look like this? Okay, so you're telling me something, and I have to take action, and that makes you feel understood, and that makes you feel as if I'm listening to you.
Yes, exactly. It's like, for example, you told me something, Dad, and then I'm just hearing you with my ears and understanding you. But you will keep telling me this because you will say to me that, son, you understand me, you can hear me, but why aren't you taking action upon what I'm saying? You would keep repeating it to me many times because you would want me to take action upon what you're saying. But if I don't, you would keep repeating the same things over and over again. And that's where the friction will be. Me and you will keep arguing and fighting because I'm not doing nothing to implement what you're telling me.
Okay, so you mean if it were to be the other way around, if I were to tell you to do something and you don't action it, then I'll get frustrated. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, it's like that. It's like if a father really cares for their son, you would tell me to do something and you would like me to implement it because you care for me, and you can see things that I can't see. But if I tell you, I'll just hear you, I'll just understand you, but I won't implement, you feel like you're wasting your time and energy on me because you're saying things that aren't even changing, that nothing better is happening. It's like you're just repeating yourself over and over again.
Is that when you're telling me to? So let me understand this. So when you come to me, it's like you trying to tell me to fix my ways. Dad, can you stop being stubborn? Because your stubbornness is affecting my my confidence, my stability and security. Whilst if I were to tell you the same thing, if I were to tell you, look, son, don't do this because of X, Y, Z, and you don't do it, then I get upset and I think, look, why isn't he doing it? And that's something good for him. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that is true, and that's exactly what I mean. It's like this is an honest example because I know I have my part to play in it as well, and sometimes I can come across bad and disrespectful to you, and I don't even realize how I come across sometimes with you and with other people. But because I have bad habits, like listening to music, or I like girls, or I like spending money, and you tell me to fix up my behavior, to change this, change that, and I tell you I will, but I never do. You keep repeating to yourself because you haven't seen improvement, and I guess me and you will keep arguing like that because you want me to change, but because I'm not implementing what you're saying, our relationship will just drop from there because we're not working with each other.
Right. Okay. So this is where that I clash with you, Jibril, because there's a reason why I'm actually intentional with being stubborn. I have my reasons why I'm stubborn, and it's not out of blindness. I know, and I've told you this before, isn't it? Like many times, reason why that I'm stubborn is because if I'm going after something and and people are telling me, oh, don't do this because X Y Z, I will take it on the board, but ultimately the decision is down to me to make. It doesn't matter if they're experienced or not. That decision, that choice is mine. And the other thing is this: I know how to see and judge and decide who has my best interest for me because I'm able to read people through my life experiences. And I've told you this before, I have those life experiences of being able to read people well than you. Does that make sense? Because of the fact that I've lived longer and I've been around people and I understand behaviors. That's why that I'm stubborn. There's it's not because that I don't know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing, but it can come across like it doesn't make you feel safe because what I do, I get what you're trying to say because you want to feel reassured, but progress, if you're trying to make progress, it's always got to come with some kind of sacrifice or risk. And I've told you this before as well, Jibril, isn't it? You know, and that's why I'm stubborn because if I'm going after something, I'm going to do it. You know, very unlikely I'm going to listen to people if I know what I want and I'm the only person that knows how to get there because it's me doing the work. It's me putting in the effort, the time, the sacrifice, and I know what is at stake, and I'm also willing to take on the consequences of my actions. You know, and I've told you whatever that I do, the most important thing is that you're safe. You've got a roof over your head. You've been provided for. You've been clothed for, sheltered for. And don't worry about me. And I know the place that you're coming from as well, because you care for me and you don't want me to get hurt. I understand that, but Dad's been around long enough to deal with whatever hurt that comes my way. Do you understand? Yeah. You know, and maybe that's the thing because it's you may not want to see me get hurt. Maybe it's just that. I don't know. Well, what's your take on that?
It's just the truth is, I I don't want to make out as if this is a big problem, because this isn't a big problem, but it's a it's a dangerous habit that can lead on to bigger problems, bigger fights between me and you, and between our family. And I know by me repeating myself over and over again, I won't get anywhere. But it's just these habits and characteristic traits of yours make me feel a bit awkward towards you. And I understand you know what you're doing, but because I have told you in the past that your mentality, characteristic traits, behavior, and you fixing always have worked in the past, I don't think, like, you might not agree with me on this, but I don't think your behavior and characteristic traits from the past will work now, because your mentality and behavior and stubbornness has got you these results. But my point is, in order for you to get different and better results, you have to change how you come across, you have to change how you do things, and change how you fix your ways, instead of you having the same behavior for a long time. That means your results will always be the same, and that's where I'm coming from.
Okay, now I get that, where I'm coming from is this: I have to be consistent, and anytime that I'm trying to do things, make progress, there's always going to be a risk. Jibrail, I've even told you as well before from back in the day, there's no guarantee in life. Anything that you do that requires progress, there's always going to be some kind of sacrifice, and I may not always have the answers. There may be times in our life where it's uncertain, but these are the sort of things that we've got to deal with as men. With me, I'm gonna be upfront right now. That yes, I am a risky person because I do take risks, but I only do it to make progress. You know, and progress requires sacrifice. Yeah, go on.
I understand you know what you're doing and you have your reasons to do it, but what I don't get is sometimes it's like, if you tell me you know what you're doing and you are studying what you're doing and you are calculating your risks, what I get confused sometimes. It's like I ask myself, if my dad knows what he's doing, if he has every reason to do what he does, why are his results the same? How comes nothing big has changed in the bigger picture? How comes nothing big has been achieved or nothing big has been progressed? So I ask myself, if my dad knows what he's doing, why are his results the same? Because normally if someone knows what they're doing, their results will be different. Like, for example, me, if I keep repeating my same behavior, and you know how my behavior is like, my results will be the same, nothing will change. But if I change my behavior and attitude, then I'll get better results. So that's where I'm coming from. But I just get confused sometimes when your results are the same, but you tell me you're changing, but when I see the results, it's the same. So that's why I get a bit confused.
Okay, right. So in regards with the results, the way that you see things and the way that I see things are going to be completely different. Your monitoring system of what results should be in your eyes is going to be completely different in my eyes. So this is what I've said before to you. When I'm working on something, I'm seeing the daily progress. I'm seeing things that you're not seeing because I'm the one who's actually doing the work. So I'm seeing all the tweaks. I'm seeing what I need to learn, what I need to do, what actions do I need to follow through to make progress.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I think how me and you see progression results is different, and how me and you monitor is different. Like, for example, I'll tell you how I see it. I see it long term. I see in the bigger picture, okay, my dad has done this and his results will lead to this. I see long term. I don't see short term, but I think you measure results short term. As you mentioned before, you see daily progression, such as maybe you have developed on this, developed on that, you've changed on this, changed on that. But I see the bigger picture. I see the long term effects, but I think you see the short term effect. I think that's where the friction is between me and you.
No, see, that is your opinion. In fact, it's the other way around. Look, I've lived on this earth a lot longer than you have here. So when I'm doing something, it's always for the long term because right. So this is my point. So because of the fact that you don't have that kind of experience, you don't know what my long term goals are. And the way that I see long term goals is to work on the daily things because they predict monthly. They predict the yearly. You see what I'm trying to say? So if I'm not doing these little daily actions, these short term actions, I can't say that I'm going to achieve this or do this in years to come because I'm not doing the daily actions. So that's why I'm monitoring things daily because they equate to weekly, monthly, and yearly. So I'm actually thinking long term as a father, as a person who's responsible for a family and my own well-being. There's a lot of responsibilities that I'm carrying, and I have to see long term, Jibrail. This is the thing, because everything is taken care of you. You don't have to think like that because I'm covering that angle until that you have your own responsibilities. Then you got to think long term. But for you to think that I'm not thinking long term, look, we've moved from here to a different country. I got married to your mum. We've had 5 kids, you know, and many other things that have happened along the way. So that requires responsibility, and then the gym business. Do you see what I'm trying to say? You have to be a long-term thinker to do those kind of things. Yeah.
So when I previously mentioned that I think I measure results long term, you measure it long term as well. But I kind of disagree with that because when you tell me that the daily habits and daily consistent efforts and activities equate to monthly and yearly, in my point of view, I think it's easy for everyone to do the small consistent daily habits because that can be anything. But my point is, like, what are the small consistent habits working towards? Like, for example, I do my studying, my reading, my writing, and my training. Like, these are small consistent daily habits, but I ask myself sometimes, what am I working towards long term? What is my long term plan and goal? But because I see you most of the times fixing and modifying your daily habits and consistent efforts, I don't see that developing into something big and something achievable in the massive picture when you look at it.
Right. So this is where me and you differ because look, you're not there. What I do day in day out. Yeah, because you're expecting something big to come about, and then you can say, yeah. So my dad's achieved this. He's done this and that. Yeah, but those big things take time. If you're not doing the small things daily, yeah, because through time you're gonna see it. But look, what I'm trying to say is this: you've not been around long enough to see what comes from hard work, what comes from consistency. It's only through time that you will see it. And this is years down the line. It's not a month thing. Long term, if you're working long term, it doesn't happen overnight. Things happen years down the line. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you're not seeing it now. This is the issue. You're only seeing the small work, but those small work is equating to something in the long term, which is going to take place in years to come.
Yeah, so you're true in saying that, and that's right. But like, my point is, if your small habits and consistent efforts, like that you've mentioned, that it will equate to something big in the future that will take years to come. My point is, I can't predict the future, and I don't know if the future is guaranteed for me or you or not. But like, your consistent habit and efforts are like patterns that tell me, okay, my dad is like this. I have a feeling he'll be like this in the future because of what I see from him now. It's like because I don't know whether you or other people agree with me or not, but I have a feeling that because your habits of risk taking, fixing your ways, making your own decisions, and not taking calculated risks, in my point of view, I have a feeling you'll be like this in years to come because these consistent habits of yours, these are your default. This is who you are. This is your identity, and this is who you are as a father to me. So that can't change. That's why I feel like the results will be the same. And that's how I measure results. Because small consistent efforts and habits, I don't think that equates to something big, since that's quite easy to do, small consistent habits. But in the bigger picture, like, I think you will be the same in the bigger picture, but the small consistent habits, you will change, you will tweak it, and you work on that.
Right. So see, this is the thing where me and you differ a lot, because your one is based on lack of experience. My one is based on experience. I know without doing those small daily habits, it will never equate to bigger things in the long run. And the other thing as well, look, Jibril, me and you are coming from a different place. The way you're measuring achieving big things, or I'm doing big things, is the results, but those results are going to take time. That's the first thing. And then secondly, when you are in a position of responsibility and you take risks, when you've got more years of life experience behind you, you realize what sacrifice does, what time, what developing something requires time. It's because you are under my protection, my guidance, and my care. You're covered. You're not taking risks. When you're responsible for a family, when you run a business, when you're trying to take care of two families, then you realize this. But you're not doing any of that at the moment.
As in, you're right in terms of saying that, but the reason why I disagree on that a bit is because, it's like, because you told me that I lack experience, I lack responsibilities, and I lack a lot of things, and I know that. But like, if you have like, my point is, if you know what you're doing, why don't you work with like our family, and like tell us how does this feel for me, and like, you can say to me, and what would make me feel comfortable would be like you saying, son, I'm going to make this decision, how do you feel about that? Or son, I'm going to do this decision, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, what's your input, what's your recommendation, what do you think? Instead of you taking the action upon yourself, and then me having no choice but to work with you upon that, me having no choice but to follow you. But what would make me reassured, more safe and comfortable, would be like, if you were to make a decision, but before you make that decision, speak with me and speak with my other family members. That way we all know what's going to happen, and we all know what to expect.
Yeah. So when it comes down to making big decisions, that's what I do, and that's what I've been doing for a long time. Some talks don't require you to take part in, because you're young. You're not in a position to do anything. And I will only speak to the relevant person. So say, for example, that relevant person might be your mum. If it affects the family, if a big decision affects the family, I'll speak to your mum. I won't speak to you, because I'll tell you why. Certain things, you're under my protection. My aim is to make sure that my children are safe. They've got a good relationship with their dad. That is it. In terms of goals or all these other specific things, not in everything that I have to tell you, Jibril, because that doesn't involve you. It's only if there's a risk in the family, or we're about to make a big decision, then I'll ask for your input. But the thing is, some things are left better to the parents than it is to the child, because they're not in a position to do anything.
Yeah, that is right. You are that is partially true, but the reason why I disagree with that again is because if you're saying that I can't really do anything by you speaking to me about this, because I can't really change the situation, but I should still have the right to know and understand what's going to happen and what will happen. It's like, for example, can I mention the gym business?
Yeah, go on.
So what happened previously in the gym was like your business partner, he done things his way. He fixed his ways. He was stubborn, and he only listened to himself, and he done what made him feel good. But my point is, he didn't consult you or mum in terms of what decisions he made, and you and mum had no choice but to follow it through. It's like with me, you made decisions in my life that I had no choice to follow, and that made me feel a certain way towards you. And your partner made decisions, and you guys felt a certain way towards him. So this is where I'm coming from. This is the example I gave. It's like your partner should have consulted with you and mum instead of him making a decision, and then you guys having no choice but to follow it through with him. And that's where the relationship starts to go downhill from there, because we didn't consult each other.
No, the thing is this. Look, you're right. That's a completely different context in terms of family dynamics and relationship and business. Meaning, look, right. When it comes down to consulting, the responsible people only need to be consulted. The ones who are under the responsibility, they don't need consulting. You can update them and just tell them, look, this is what's going to happen, X, Y, Z. That's it. But in terms of actioning things, you're not in a position to do those things. What's happened between the partnership in the business? That's your understanding is only small. You're only seeing a small portion of it, and I don't want to get into that because it's long. But what I'm trying to say is this: when it comes down to family dynamics, that's between the mum and the dad. That's one, and then secondly, the children will only get consulted on small things. That's it. Because our responsibility is to make sure that you guys are safe. There's things that you don't need to get involved in as long as that you're safe. That is it, because that is the overall concern. You understand? When you're a bit more older and you got your own responsibilities and you're making big decisions, then you realize this. Right now, that it seems like, oh, you know what, I'm not in the loop, because you don't need to take on these stresses. The stresses are on me to deal with, not you. I would like you to get on with your life and get on with your focus,
As in, you saying that that's true, and I have to get on with my life and do my own thing and not worry about you too much. But my point is, whether you agree with me on this or not, it's like how you are with me, with my siblings, with my mum and other people. It's like how you are with me in terms of making decisions, fixing ways, is how you will be with them, because these consistent habits and traits of yours are fixed on you. So that's why your results will be the same, because you haven't changed these default habits. It's like, I can't give you an example that will match you because I'm not on your level, but I can give you a realistic example. It's like, for example, you've mentioned before that my habits are, I look at life in a negative way, and my attitude needs to be worked on. I need to stop, like, saying rude things to people. Like, you see things in my character that needs working on, and I believe you, because even I know that I've got my problems and I've made mistakes. But for example, if I were to have your mentality and your characteristic traits, if I were to implement that and copy you, since I'm sure most sons out there would copy their fathers in terms of what the father would do, but if I copied you, like, just imagine if I were to copy you, my results might be like you, or it might be worse. As in, we have different goals, but my results will be the same. Nothing will change, because these consistent habits of me are fixed. That's why I've decided not to be like you, not to carry these characteristic traits. And this is where the problem is, because I'm sure that I have explained it to you many times, and people that are older than me have mentioned it to you, but it's like your response is the same with me, and it's the same with them as well. So whether that's a sign or not, I don't know.
Okay, couple of things there. So look, right, and there's got to be a lot of things that you don't understand yet. You only got to get it when you're a bit more older. Yeah, and I've said this before many times. So this is the typical relationship that I have with my son when it comes down to trying to communicate things. I have my reasons why, and intentionally I'm a certain way, because I'm doing it with intention, and the results, how he sees results, how he sees me doing things, is coming from a place of, look, results is one thing and responsibility is another thing. So I'm I am. When it comes down to you, I'm not looking at results. I'm looking at responsibilities. Am I fulfilling my responsibility towards my son, towards my family? And I'm trying to do the best that I can. Results are on me. That's something completely different. But what I'm trying to say is, this is the typical example that I go through having a conversation with my son. We're not always going to see eye to eye. We're going to see things differently. And that's okay, because it's an opinion. It's where we both are at in our life. We're on different stages and phases. The difference is experience and small amount of experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because your experience is more than me. But what would like the two main things that are playing in my mind right now? It's like the first one. So this is where we are in terms of our relationship, and that's fine, because we can still work from there, and it's not the end. And as long as we still have the ability to see each other from time to time, that's good, and that's what matters, because this is a luxury, and not many people out there have what I have. So alhamdulillah, I've got you still. And the second thing is, you previously mentioned that I have to wait till I'm older to understand where you're coming from, because it takes experience to understand where you're coming from. And that is true. And I will learn from my own experiences. But when you said that I need experience, that is true. But everything that I've explained to you previously in this video, I don't want to... it would make me sad and upset if I were to find out that long term I'm right in what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. Like, it would make me upset if like, I'm being honest with you, it would make me upset if time were to prove me right in terms of what I'm saying about you. That would just make me a bit upset, That's it.
Jibril, that's fine. And I've said this before. You always have your opinion. There's a reason why I'm stubborn and set my ways, and I take risks. Yeah. And me as a father, this is what I know. This is your opinion now, because I don't mean to say this to put you down, but you do lack a lot of experience. Yeah. You've not taken any risks. You've not had any responsibilities. You're still growing. You're still young. You're only 14. Yeah. And the thing is, this is your opinion. This is fine. That's it, and we'll see what happens in the future, because this will go round and round, so this was actually a live conversation that I had with my son, and this is what a typical conversation with my son looks like.
I know like most of you guys are probably thinking what kind of relationship do me and you have, or is that it, or like it needs to be worked on, or is that all you guys talk about? I mean, in the bigger picture, I still care about you, Dad, and inshallah I always will. But it's just most of the conversations that we have, most of the times it will stop to this point, because I think on my behalf, no matter what I do, even if I change my behavior, my mentality, my attitude, I change how I look at life, my input in life, I think because I can't change you, you will always be the same, no matter how much effort I put in regarding my part. But that's fine, I guess. But I just wanted you to understand how I feel, what I'm feeling, and how our relationship is like. That's all.
Jibril, that's fine. And believe it or not, that I do understand. But I also think that you don't have experience. Not think, no. Yeah. And the way that you're feeling now, this is now that you're feeling, yeah. When years go by, you're going to understand a lot of things. The reason why I've done what I've done and said what I said. That's it. Like, it's fine that you've got your opinion. Yeah. I can't add anything else to that apart from I will carry out my responsibilities towards you, do the best that I can as a father. I will get it wrong, and I'll keep on trying. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
I'd like to say.
Yeah, Jibs, I'm gonna stop it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it. But, this conversation will never stop. Me and him will just go back to back and forth with this. But this is just an example that I've given. This was actually a real conversation that we just had now. So yeah, like I'm just sharing this conversation, and fatherhood is about work in progress. We're not going to be perfect, but it is our responsibility to try and improve. And that's it.